Have you ever felt like you're just giving your all, but getting absolutely nothing back? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into 3 really powerful fables that teach us about the art of letting go. And more importantly, why sometimes the absolute strongest thing you can do is just walk away. So let's jump right in with a question. We all admire persistence, right? But is there a point where trying harder just becomes, well, banging your head against a wall? How do you know when you're knocking on a door that's just never, ever going to open for you?
You know, these 3 stories, they might seem pretty simple on the surface, but trust me, they hold such a powerful lesson about self-respect and about that quiet strength you find when you finally decide to let go. This might just change how you look at some of your own struggles.
Okay, so our first story is about a rooster named Nislo. And his is a classic tale, really, about how sometimes your true value is only understood after you're gone. So picture this. Every single morning, like clockwork, Nislo does his job. He's the farm's living alarm clock. But what does he get for it? Not gratitude, that's for sure. All he gets are insults, harsh words, and just total neglect. His vital contribution was met with nothing but humiliation. So after enduring this day in and day out, Nislo has this huge realization. It finally clicks for him. In a place where his effort means nothing, trying to prove his worth is just a fool's errand. The only real answer? To leave with his self-respect intact.
And so he did. He crowed one last time, and he left. The fallout was immediate, and it was devastating. With no one there to sound the alarm, thieves robbed the farm that very same night. Disaster struck the very people who took him completely for granted.
All right, let's move on to our second fable. This is a story of Amara the Turtle, and you'll see how it builds on that first lesson about knowing your own worth. So here, we've got another one of those totally lopsided relationships. Amara, a kind, strong turtle, he was the giver. For years, he carried his so-called friend Tico, a frog who couldn't swim, across a dangerous river. And Tico, well, he was the taker. He complained all the time, acting like Amara owed him this favor. Tico never said thank you. Not once. And get this, the second he didn't need Amara anymore, when a drought made these stones appear that he could cross on, he just hopped off his back and left. No goodbye, no thank you, nothing. Standing there all alone in the river, Amara gets some life-changing advice from an old heron. And it's such a powerful idea. Not every burden is yours to carry. And honestly, not everyone has earned the right to be by your side. We really have to choose our burdens carefully. And that right there was the turning point. Amara forgave himself. And notice, he didn't forgive Tico, he forgave himself. He let go of that burden of resentment. He decided he would never again offer his help to the disrespectful, and in doing that, he found peace. His heart felt lighter. And when the river eventually rose again, well, Tico was left stranded. Our last story is about a cat named Nico. And this one is all about the hope we pour into things and people that are just never going to change. So Nico was surviving on scraps, but every single day he'd go back to the same spot, in front of this fancy house. He could see a woman inside and he knew she could see him, but she never, ever opened the door. And still, he held on to that tiny sliver of hope that maybe, just maybe, today would be different. But then one day, another cat shared some words with him that just pierced his heart. You were not born just to wait. Wow. It's such a wake-up call, right? Our purpose in life isn't to just sit around waiting for someone else to give us what we need. So Nico made a choice. He looked at that closed door one final time, and he just walked away. There was no anger, no big drama. It was just a quiet, firm decision that his life was way too valuable to waste waiting for a door that was never going to open. Okay, so we've got a rooster, a turtle, and a cat. What does it all mean? Let's tie these 3 powerful lessons together into one clear takeaway on the art of letting go. The big idea that connects all these stories is something we can call silent forgiveness. Now, the key thing to get here is that this has nothing to do with the other person. It's an internal thing. It's you quietly deciding to step away from a closed door. And you're doing it for one reason, your own peace. So each character gives us a really clear actionable step. First, be like Nislo. Know your own value, especially when other people don't. Second, be like Amara.
Learn to put down the burdens that aren't actually yours to carry. And finally, be like Nico. Realize that your destiny is not to just wait at a closed door.
And let's be really clear about this. This whole idea of forgiveness, it's not about forgetting what happened. It's definitely not about going back to a toxic situation. It's about making a choice for you, for your peace. It's about recognizing that knocking on that same closed door over and over again just drains your soul. And that real strength, it lies in the quiet act of setting yourself free. And that brings us to the final, and I think the most important question. After hearing about the rooster, the turtle, and the cat, what weight are you carrying? What unappreciated effort are you making? What closed door in your own life are you maybe, just maybe, ready to walk away from? What will you choose to set down today?